be with you. Welcome out to our classroom piano lessons on the web. We'll get started here in just a second. I like to let the stream get started first. I need to fix that. But I like to get the stream started first because if the audio and video are not, if something's wrong, then you can imagine that would be big problems if I just kind of steamroll right into it. But it should only take a minute or so. So let's let the stream start. And we'll go from there. So today was supposed to be the Alfred book review. And, whoa. All right, Sean, be quiet. Shut up. All right. Anyway, I mixed up the two lessons today. So we're going to do the Alfred book review on a Monday. Or no, Sunday. Today, we are doing How Music Theory Will Help You Learn Piano. So it looks like everything is good to go. But yeah, should be good. Yeah, sorry about that. It's totally my mistake. And then I was like, well, maybe I could switch it back, but no, I already sent out the emails and all that stuff. So, let me get my, it looks like everything's good. Let me get my notes out. Okay, it looks like we're all ready to go. So, give me like 20 seconds or so to get the Facebook stream started, and then we're just going to get right on the lesson. So, welcome to Tim, Mahish, and Charles for being here today, and then 10 others. All right, just give me a sec. Hello students, your piano teacher Tim here. Welcome to our classroom piano lessons on the web. Glad to have you with us. Today I'm going to be teaching you how music theory will help you learn piano. So I've taught you music theory before, I taught you piano before, and today I'm going to try to explain how they interconnect. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. I do have more things to explain about it. But all right, so it looks like we're good to go. If you're watching on the first time on Facebook, make sure you like our page. Make sure you are subscribed, have all notifications turned on if you are watching on YouTube. Today's lesson might seem like it's an hour late because the times have changed. Yeah, this is something that we run into in the States, and then with people abroad, that always gets everybody. Oh, you missed the email notification. Sorry about that. And I was a tiny bit late sending it out today, but all right, let's get on to it. Enough ramble rousing today. That's not even the right word. Okay, now we're gonna get started. Wouldn't be a day without hiccups. I need to figure out, I think I do know why this is happening now. See how that's a problem? All right, just give me a second. I'll do the intro. All right, here we go. There are some big reasons that learning music theory is going to help you learn piano, and your piano teacher Tim here today, and I'm going to explain exactly how. All right, shooting for a little bit shorter of an intro, seeing how that works. Shorter intros tend, I've been looking at the data, shorter intros tend to do better. All right, anyway, you don't need to know that part. All right, here we go. Let me bring something up really quick. Sorry, I had to restart the computer ahead of time. Oh, this is good enough. This is good. All right. Give me a sec. There we go. All right. The first way music theory is going to help you learn piano is it's going to give you a much better understanding of keys. Now, what is a key? You need to know that, right, to know how it helps you. Well, a key basically is the set of notes that you're going to commonly find throughout a piece of sheet music. So keys generally have sharps, a set of sharps. Keys can either have like anywhere between 1 and 7 sharps, or 1 and 7 flats. And so you need to know which key is which flats are in which key, which sharps are in which key, and it's going to help you learn music. So let's just take a look at a piece of sheet music, and I'll explain why. Okay. So taking a look at this Chopin prelude right here, there is a key signature right in the beginning. So a key signature is just really the visual representation of what the key is. It appears between the clef, the treble clef, and the time signature. I'm going to have my editor circle that for you. And so you see there's one sharp there. And if you drew a note like where that sharp is, it would be on the line of F, right? With the treble clef and then even the bass clef there. So what that tells you is that all Fs throughout the entire piece are going to be sharped unless there's like a natural telling you otherwise. But the cool thing about it is you can generally expect that, F sharp always occurs in the same place on the keyboard. So whenever you're about to hit an F, get it through your head that you're probably going to be hitting F sharp. Now, there can be sharps or flats, as you can see here, that are not in the key signature. These are called accidentals. See how there's like an E flat here in measure 2, things like that. So you're still going to want to peruse the piece to see what sharps or flats are included. But you know right away, by knowing what the key is and what that means, it's going to tell you, what sharps or flats you can expect. If you totally ignore it, well, when you start playing the piece, right away you can tell that it's not sounding very good, and that's because I'm being totally ignorant of the key signature. There's a couple other things that a key will tell you. A key tells you, in addition to the sharps or flats in a piece, it generally tells you what chords you're going to be using. So if we happen to be in the key of E minor, and I'll link you a link at the end of the lesson to learn all your key signatures. But we're in the key of E minor, so we're expecting a lot of E minor chords. And then if you know the theory behind that, we're probably going to have a lot of A minor and B minor chords as well. And sure enough, in the first measure, we have an E minor chord going on. So, and then, once you get more and more familiar with that, you can figure out what the common chords are you're going to find throughout the piece. Okay. Keep hitting that note. Give me a sec. All right, let me get, even though this one's pretty good, that one's better okay. I'm just picking out like the next example here. I think we might just use the same one since it's perfect. Speaking of chords, knowing about the theory behind chords, knowing what chords occur throughout a piece, that's common, things like that, it's going to help you learn pieces much faster because you can, take a look at a piece and analyze what chords are going on. Now, I'm not going to go through the theory behind the chords today. That's not what the point of this lesson is. But the point is to get the point across that being familiar with the chords, for instance, like playing this first full measure here, I know right away, because I know my theory so well, that this is an E minor chord in first inversion. I can just do that by sight pretty much, rather than reading like each individual note, like, okay, the bottom one's G, the next one's B, that one's E. Now when you're first starting out, you'll have to do that. But if I can just identify those on sight, so much easier to play, because I'm using the theory to fill in, what each chord is. Okay. Let me get to the next one. Okay. Check my notes real quick. Okay. And then building upon, keys and chords, there are other patterns that if you are aware of the theory behind them, your brain's just going to be able to look and say, oh, that's an arpeggio. Oh, that's, like maybe a chord cluster. Oh, that's a segment of a scale, something like that. Let's take a look at this example together. So right away, I have chords, in my right hand. By the way, a B minor chord. Looking at the key signature, I see two sharps. I know that that's either D major or B minor. Sounds minor to me, which is another great thing, is that if you know the difference between major or minor, you know that you're probably on the right track or not, because if I was playing something that sounded happy, I know that that would not be appropriate. The minor would be appropriate. But anyway, in the left hand, you have these arpeggio patterns outlining the B minor chord there. So again, instead of reading each note individually, B, D, F sharp, B, D, it just takes so much longer than to be like, okay, this is a B minor arpeggio. And then B minor again in the second measure. Another arpeggio. Goes up a little higher, but it's the exact same thing. And it's just B minor arpeggios. And if I didn't know the theory behind that, it would be so much more difficult and take so much longer. Line 2, G major. And I just said G major, right? Major's happy, minor's sad. So if I started to do this, I know that I'd be playing the wrong notes. So music theory basically will help you identify larger patterns of music much easier rather than reading each individual note, but it will also help you determine whether you're playing the right notes or not, because if you know the theory and maybe you've been doing the ear training behind it, right away if something doesn't sound right. This takes a long time to really put into practice. It's still something that I'm getting used to. I still play wrong notes from time to time. There's such a thing as a mistake in music that sounds correct, and knowing the theory will help you kind of navigate even through that. All right, on to the next thing. Okay. Okay, I already talked about chord progressions and that a bit. I kind of added that in. Okay, and then I kind of did that as well. So kind of a shorter lesson today. I do have something else I want to say, though, and then we'll continue with the live stream. So it's not over yet. Okay, let me think. Okay, here we go. So today I talked about a lot of, it might sound like abstract concepts to you. Like I said, chords and scales and note patterns. And in this lesson, I didn't explain what they were, which was the whole point. This whole lesson is just tying everything together. If you need to know about all the music theory behind what I talked about today, make sure you check out this playlist right here. It will help catch you up. Your piano teacher, Tim, here. Thanks so much for coming by today. And I'll see you, yes, you, in the next lesson. All right, I'm still here. I didn't go anywhere. Okay, and then I'll still work out that other thing. All right, good. Okay, lesson schedule. Now, wait, let me take some comments or questions here. Graham asks what the lesson schedule is. So you always find out as the notification pops up. So I need to get the email list form set up. That's one thing that I keep neglecting. Yeah, I can talk about cadences, Fanny. And I always just find out as the notification pops up. Okay, so we meet. Your question was what the schedule is. You can find the schedule here on the website. Now, it might be a little confusing because there's just a time change. And so you might be confused with that. So it might not be the same time. You just need to do the time conversion thing. Unfortunately, we don't all live under the same time zone. It'd be kind of weird if we did, I guess. Okay. Anyway, you can see here, Friday, 1 p.m. Sunday, 1 p.m. Sunday, 1 p.m. Oh, did I skip that Friday? Oh, weird. I made a mistake, guys. Okay, so I'm going to have to push that off for the following week. Okay. I made a little oopsie here. But anyway, you can see Fridays and Sundays at 1 p.m. And that's when we meet. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Very important. Very important. So it might have changed on you because we just changed times here in the States. So look up 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to your, convert that to whatever time that you are in. You'll have to do that. So that's when we meet, Friday, Sundays at 1 p.m. And I do understand there's confusion because of the time zone change or time change. Let's see. First time here says Roberta. Greetings from Romania. Well, greetings. I love the way you teach. I appreciate the sight reading app too. Well, great. So glad that I could have helped you out that lesson. Let me get the Fanny's question, which was, can you tell us about cadences? I guess that you were going to say. Okay, so all cadences it's a common chord progression that's commonly found out through a piece of sheet music. So when I was talking earlier about learning your chords and learning your chord patterns and how you'll start to see more and more of those patterns in the sheet music you're playing, that's the exact same benefit you're going to get by learning your cadences. All a cadence is those patterns, those common patterns. And you want to learn them at as many keys as you can and as fast as you can. In addition to be able to, really point those out in your sheet music a lot easier, there's something called muscle memory, where once you're like really good at moving between these chords, your brain almost knows that, like, okay, this chord's here, the next chord moves these two up, next chord moves this down, and then back to the same one. So your brain will start to kind of create these pathways into your fingers, this muscle memory on how the chords move between each one. So not only will you be able to identify it, you'll also be able to play it a lot easier just because you've played the pattern before. Hey, we got Ben List. First time here as well from Ohio. Looking forward to Sunday's lesson. That's the book I'm going through right now. Yeah, sorry, that was supposed to be today. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of tired today. I've been messing up all day. You ever get that where it's like, oh man, but I'm not doing too bad. It's just like one of those days where it's like, man, where's my brain at today? We got Graham says, awesome, thanks. Nah, it's always at noon my time. All right, good. So yeah, if it stays the same your time, perfect. It might change on you. I know it's confusing, guys. I didn't make up the times. I didn't do it. I promise. All right, anyway, glad that Ben's looking forward to the next lesson. I just bought Alfred's as well, all 3 books, using along with the music theory site, reading app online. Super useful. Great. Tim Denton says, Ben, where are you in Ohio? Okay, I won't jump into that conversation. Oh, Cincinnati, apparently. So there you go. I answered it for everybody. All right, let's see. I probably missed... Tim, what is the next opus of Chopin Etude? You have start with it. What? You start with it after and opus 599. Hi, Tim, what is the next opus of Chopin Etude you have? Start with it after opus 599. I'm not sure. Is that the last one? I honestly don't know. Hi, Tim. Let me make sure I understand the question correctly, because sometimes I know we're from different places in the world, so I always like to take a second to really process. Hi, Tim. What is the next opus of Chopin Etude you have? That's after 599? You know what? I'm just going to Google it, as much of a ho-hum answer that is. Chopin Etude... Like, wouldn't it just be 600, right? Am I going crazy here? I don't mean to sound condescending. I just am trying to figure this out. What should I play? Here you go. Somebody asked this. Let's see what they have to say. What should I play after Czerny Opus 599? Because I thought there were more of them. But so that must be the last one. I'm finishing Opus 599. I haven't decided what to play next. My teacher said that School of Velocity Opus 299 has dry and boring but useful etudes. That is true. And I don't want to jump into Chopin's etudes just yet. I think it's too soon. So what do you recommend and how? Okay, I see what's going on here. Yeah. I'm composed a very good etude, Gradas Parnassium. Oh, he did a different one, huh? Okay, how do you compare it with Czerny's? Some music maybe. You could do Debussy's Doctor, Gradas ad Parnassium. It's about finger dexterity. Okay, so I do agree with that. There's something called Debussy's Children's Corner, I think. But they are quite a bit more advanced than like this Czerny etude. Yeah, let me think about this for a second some more, because I feel like I agree with that recommendation, but I feel like that's quite a jump. Did you learn the Hannon exercises as well? I would definitely do that if you haven't learned those already. Those are perfect, actually. You know what? Let me look something up. Now I'm kind of getting the hang of what we're going for here. So just give me a second. There's this website. Now, whenever I don't like this website because whenever I link it, it always messes up. But so what what you have to do is you might have to copy this link. Well, let me see what happens here. Hold on. It works for me. If the link I just sent you doesn't work for you, like here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you click on the link and it says like page can't be accessed, highlight the top bar and hit enter, and that fixes it. They have some kind of thing that prevents against linking on their page, which I think is dumb because you want people to know this stuff, right? Anyway, here's the point. So this page right here is actually all the piano studies by Czerny, or at least a good chunk of them. And what I would do is, maybe progressive studies. Take a look at that. That might be what you're doing already, correct? Isn't that, is that the one that ends with, let's see here. No, that's 99. So you might want to check that out. Unfortunately, I'm not super versed on all the exercises here. I've done progressive studies. I've done the 125 exercises in passage playing. I like this one, actually. Do this one. Yeah, because that's a good... because they're short, they're a little bit more difficult. This is called, by the way, 125 exercises in passage playing. This is Opus 261. So this whole thing is the same. Okay. I don't know if you've played through these yet, but check these out if you haven't already. They're nice and short. They have real like passages that you would find in sheet music, which is great. And yeah, go from there and see and learn each one. I would learn like maybe one a day and see if you can polish up each example as much as possible because they're so short. And the cool thing about it is like number one will introduce you to certain pattern, and then number two is like the opposite where you flip hands. So it's really, really good that way. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already. I need to go to dinner. Have a nice day. And thank you. You're welcome, Marcel. Glad that you were here today. The Czerny 100 are awesome for sight reading. I agree with that. You mean the 100 progressives. Yeah, I agree with that because they're pretty easy. Thank you very much, ABG. That's what I needed right now. And Rachel's here. Random Guy says, okay, grade 5. Okay. I'm doing Czerny Opus 365 now for sight reading every morning. The link is very useful. Great. Glad to hear it, Marie. Happy that you guys found that. And happy that I could finally come up with like a real answer. Because at first I'm like, well, why don't you just do the next one? But now I see what you're saying because it's been a while since I went through these. Hello, Tim again, says Rachel. Hello, Rachel. When it comes to exercises, which are more important, Czerny or Hannon? Asked Laredo. Both. I would learn both. I would start out with the Hannon exercises because they involve parallel motion, meaning you're playing the same note between each hand. And then go to the Czerny exercises. Like learn as many of the Hannon. You don't need to complete the Hannons though. Maybe learn the first 20 Hannon exercises and then start learning maybe Czerny exercises along with those Hannon exercises. See how that goes for you. However, so maybe you learn Czerny first and you want to learn Hannon. Well, you should. Even though Czerny's exercises involve more like scale and chord patterns that are independent between each hand, you still will want to go back and play the Hannon exercises, which are in parallel, because that really helps you sync up between both hands. And then you can get them faster and faster. And, and then I keep practicing that until it was as even as possible. Random guy says, I do anime songs. Awesome. Glad to hear it. I'm in year 10 and my school won't do music, so I have to do self-taught off YouTube. Man, that's a bummer. Well, glad that here, help if you guys could see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's a bummer. So glad that you're here though. Happy that you are part of our classroom instead. Oh, Rachel says, I'm scared mock exams coming for you though. Danny says, every piano player has to play a few anime songs sometimes. I agree with that. Anime openings, like the openings to anime, their songs are so good a lot of times, in my opinion. It's probably also a nostalgia thing because I grew up watching some anime. I was never like really hardcore in anime. I wasn't like one of those kids. But I did grow up like watching Dragon Ball. Like I remember watching Dragon Ball in the morning. Geez, probably like in the early 90s. Before I went to school at like 5:30 a.m. I would watch it. I still get up at 5:30. I'm crazy. But yeah. Also off topic says Ben says, but our piano tune today, got our piano tune today. And when the tuner left, he said he was off to tune Bob Dylan's piano since he's out of town for a concert. Well, that's great. You probably have a pretty freaking good piano tuner. How long have I been playing piano? Asked Rachel. I've been playing, let me think, because it changes every year because I get older, unfortunately, guys. Although I'm still pretty young. I'll take it. Let's see. Over 20, definitely. 24-ish years, I'd say. Yeah, let's go with that. 24. Geez, I remember when I used to tell people, like, I've been playing piano for 12 years. 10 years. It's like, oh my goodness. 24 years, no. I do Unravel, so Seven Deadly Sins. I feel really bad because I know One Punch Man. I know Seven Deadly Sins. What is SAO? I don't know the first two. Unravel. Unravel sounds familiar, though. Dragon Ball is awesome. Yeah, definitely a classic. Tim, can you do a video where you have the chords and lyrics but don't have the melody? That's interesting, huh? I've done the opposite where you have a melody but no chords. The answer to that is yeah. I can do that. I mean, I do have like what I'm planned out for the next month or so. Let me think on that. I don't want to give you a definite yes or no. It sounds like an interesting idea. I'm just in my head trying to figure out like how I would put that together. I'm also trying to figure out why you would ever need that. Well, I guess if you were on like a website and they had the chords, you wanted to figure out the melody to it, I guess. Yeah, let me think on that. I'm going to have to think really hard about that. That's interesting. I'm also going to have to figure out, like I said, like where the application would be for a lot of students. Karen says, hi, Tim. I brought a friend with me. brought a friend with you. Yeah, you don't buy friends, right? Those aren't real friends. Meet Andrew. Hello, Andrew. In the ether of life. I have no idea what you look like or where you are, but hello. Welcome. And subscribe. All right. Good to have you back with us, Karen, of course, and Andrew. Charles, okay, saw Johnny Hodges interview. He has been playing for over 50 years. One day you will say that too. I hope so, right? Because at first I was like, well, I hope not. But I was like, well, that's not good. That's not a good. Yes, hopefully someday I'll be like, oh, I've been playing piano for 100 years. Which I guess is technically possible. I'd be surprised, but you never know. Tim says, I used QWERTY and it gives the chords and lyrics, but no melody. Weird. Okay. Weird. All right, you know what? I want to write this down. Just so I can do more research on it. Because I, believe it or not, I've never needed that skill before. Yeah, I'm just going to look up QWERTY and then, what is it? Like coming up with melody for chords. Now, is this for like music that exists already? Like, am I trying to figure out the melody to Jingle Bells? Or is it like an improv thing where I have the chords already and I'm making up a melody? Like that? Is it kind of like that? Because if so, you want to look up about improvisation for sure, which I could make a new lesson on for sure. Roberta is my favorite student of the year. Thank you so much, Roberta. Roberta says, wow, you look so young. I thought you were 25. Well, how do you know I wasn't playing piano since I was 1 year old? I'm just kidding. I am older than 25, but thank you so much if you were being serious. Yeah, I'm doing all right for sure. But I don't know if I look 25. And let's see here. QWERTY is a website. Yeah, I kind of put that together. Or an app, I was thinking. Okay, Joseph says, I've been playing for only 2 years. All I know how to do is to chord where I should go from here to prove. All I do is to chord. Where should I go from here? I've been playing for only 2 years. So do you know about how to read music, Joseph? I'm not really sure. One thing, with two things that can help you like kind of figure out where to go after you've been playing for a while. One is, well, the course is over at my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com. You could take them, kind of look through the course description, see where you're at, and then you know, pick the course that's right for you. But something that I recommend just as much, and I swear I don't have stock in this company, guys, I really don't, but it's the Alfred Adult Series. And so let me just kind of show you what I'm looking at here. So if you go to Amazon or a lot of websites have this. Type in Alfred Adult Level 1. Now you can either pick the all-in-one course because that has like music theory in it and all that stuff. Or you just pick the regular course. This is a great way to make sure that you're learning pieces in an order that makes sense, because what it does is it walks you through like the very beginning, and you're probably past all this stuff already. This is, you know, the very beginning, like warm-up exercises, things like that. And then I don't know if it shows you the end. No, it just shows you the back cover. But take my word for it. But actually, I'm reviewing this book on Sunday, so check it out. I just remembered that. Check out the lesson on Sunday. I'm going to go into more detail about this. But by the end of the book, you'll be playing some pretty good pieces. Now, say you know, you take a look at the book, you'll take a look at the end, and you're still like way above that level. Well, there's level 2 as well, which kind of, you know, picks up where the last book left off. And this is great because, like I said, it's going to give you a nice selection of pieces in an order that makes sense. You can actually use these books. I might even think about integrating the two. But you can use these books in addition to the courses that I have. So say you take some courses and you're like, I just need some more pieces to play. And I give you pieces to practice in the courses that are in order as well. But this is a great supplementary kind of resource to learn them. So check out Alfred's a basic adult course, and then pick which level you think is appropriate for you. And I think that's the best based on what you told me. I know there's a lot of questions I would have about what you said, but kind of take a look on your own and see, where to go from there. Tim, do you know how many levels there are in the Alfred Adult course? As far as I know, 3. And if there's a 4th one, let me know. I'd love to have it, but I'm pretty sure there's only 3. Faber Piano Adventure books are great as well. So any of these like lesson books are really, generally really good. Piano Adventures is cool. I don't think it's structured quite as nice as the Alfred. Like Alfred has those little lesson parts and then a piece to go along with it. And I guess Piano Adventures does that as well. But Piano Adventures has like fun pieces to play, like that are really fun. Like I found some really good pieces in there. So you might want to check out both, honestly. Just keep in mind that there's like a children's Piano Adventures that's for like little kids. So you want to just take a look at the book first, make sure that it's at your level. Filthy Will says these books are great sight reading practice if you're more advanced. That's true. Very true. I've been going through volume 1 this week for that reason. Perfect. Thank you for chiming in, Will. With some good theory refreshers sprinkled in along the way. Yeah, so perfect. Blues scales. Wait, Charles says I would start learning the blues style. Uses 3 chords, easy to remember. Oh, you're talking about improvisation. So, yeah. I have a course on improvising with the blues and with music theory on my website. I have a lesson. That's what I was trying to think of. Let me get you a lesson here. It's an old one, but let me find it for you. Here it is. All right, let's get you the link here. Okay. Easy piano improv. Check this out. This is like the very most basic thing you can do with improv. It's a lesson that I put out like over a year ago at least. Oh, 2 years ago. Wow. Yeah, check that out. Oh, there's something else I wanted to get you. Let's do this. How to improvise a melody. I did this 5 months ago. I barely remember doing that. Okay. How to improvise. Huh. Okay. Did I not publish that lesson? No. It's right here. Now I remember it. Oh, it took me a while to check out this lesson as well. This is actually even better. This is how to improvise a melody, and this is like exactly, I think, probably what you're looking for, actually. Brian says, are your website lessons free? Well, let's take a look. But I can tell you right now, I got some disappointing news for you if that's what you wanted. So the courses over on my website, first of all, I have over 20 courses designed to help you learn much more about not just piano, but music theory, ear training, sight reading, a lot of the stuff I talked about today, obviously, and anything else you would need to become a well-rounded musician. Now, they do cost money, but they are well worth it. It's also a great way to invest both in your own music education and back into the channel as well, since it's really because of the support I've gotten through the website, through the YouTube, that I'm still able to make videos and make this, a living and make it something that I improve upon all the time. For instance, I just hired an editor a few months ago, or a month or two ago, and that would not have been possible. This house that I'm in would not have been possible without it. So think about it that way, that yeah, it costs money, but you are getting more out of it than you would the YouTube channel, which I'll talk about in a second, and it helps support the channel as well. And then Oh, and then why is it better than YouTube? Well, like YouTube, I'll introduce you something in a video, and then I might give you something a little bit to practice, but not really. And then the next video is usually something pretty different. Well, these are all organized in a certain order, very similar to like the lesson books I was just talking about, where you'll be introduced to concepts in a video, and then after that, you'll have practice examples around those topics you just learned, so that you're not just learning something and moving on, but you're learning it, practicing it, and mastering it as well, and then moving on to the next topic, which is, in a certain selected order, past that one. So you're learning, from the bottom up. However, if you've been learning for a while, you've been watching my lessons for a while, and you want some more intermediate or advanced stuff, well, my courses will help you out with that as well, since there are different course packages. Now, you can purchase courses individually, but I recommend picking up a course pack. So if you're brand new or you need a good refresher on the beginner stuff, check out the beginner's pack. $49.99, but each course individually is $29.99. So you can see that it's a really good deal here. This is a great foundation to build on. And then the intermediate and advanced packs are a bit more money, but they include more than twice the courses there. And then, of course, you can get the all course access if you so desire. I'm actually have kind of an announcement, kind of. All right, so I've actually been working on making a new course, like really putting work into it finally. I've had so much trouble like the last year or so, getting my nose to the grindstone, making a new course, and finally I'm doing well enough that I'm back to it. So a new course will be coming relatively soon. I want to take my time on it. If you want to know what it is, I don't know if this is the official title or not, but basically it's music analysis. So actually it's a great one to go along with what I talked about today, because you're going to be taking your theory knowledge and theory of playing, and then you're actually going to be looking through actual pieces of sheet music, dissecting them. Okay, what chords are going on in this line? Circle all of the first inversion chords in this line, or I'm going to be telling you, basically how to dissect this stuff so that you can just analyze a piece of sheet music right away. Before the course is released, I will put out a YouTube lesson. That's something going to be like, we'll analyze a piece of music together, and then I'll say, oh, hey, if you want to learn more, check out the course. So I am now in the process, finally, of making new courses for any of those who are wondering, which is great. So happy to be back on it. But anyway, you can read through the rest of the website if you want, see what my courses have to offer for you. I want to tell you that during checkout, use code YouTube, and you'll get an additional 15% off. So there you go. I think that pretty much covers it. What do you think are the best ways to learn sheet music? Okay, I've learned that the notes are the basics, but memorization really makes me struggle. Okay, what do you think are the best ways to learn sheet music? Memorization makes you struggle, huh? I would work on your sight reading, first of all. So I do have some lessons on sight reading, which let me get you one. Here we go. I kind of tanked, but I think that was because of the title on the thumbnail. But anyway, where is it? Because it's really good. Oh, you know what? Check out this lesson too. Okay, quiet. No, don't get me demonetized. Stop. I need to start blocking all these ads. Anyway, or at least coming up on my videos, not all together. Here you go. Okay, check out this first. These note reading mistakes. I don't know. Wait. Note reading mistakes. Check that out first. So there's that one. Charles Jones, who has signed up for courses, does say, check it out, Tim, what happened? What? Oh, I must have clicked. Okay, anyway. Give me a second, guys. Weird stuff's happening. Chorus Charles says, Tim, your courses are much more structured than anything I've seen on YouTube. Very true, since it takes you from the beginning to where you need to go. How do you choose? Oh, yeah. I was looking for this. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Okay, let me get you the sight reading lesson. That's what we're here for. Learn about sight reading too, and that'll help you out. Oh, weird. It did this, huh? That's why that happened. All right, anyway, you're probably like, what in the world's going on? Okay, check out sight reading. That is not what I meant to do. There it is. When you forget to hit control. I had a miserable fail sight reading jar of hearts last week for the first few measures. How do you choose proper chords for melody, basically? I'd like to arrange and play J-pop songs time to time. How do you choose proper chords for... Well, I just linked a lesson, right? Like, where was it? Was it higher up? Wait, what the hell? The heck? Yeah, no. Check out this lesson right here. How to improvise a melody. Right? Is that what you're asking? How to choose proper... Oh, the other way around. Yeah, chords for melody. Yeah. No, that's it. Yeah, scroll up, Marie. And you'll find in the chat... Oh, I passed it. I clearly need a nap, guys. Is how to improvise. Wait, is this how to... No. I have a different one. Sorry. Okay, I got my things crossed for a second. I do have another lesson that is adding chord. Okay, yeah. How to add chords to melody. There you go. There you go. This is exactly what you're looking for. Sorry, at first I was like, why? There we go. All right, now we're back in action. All right, Mahesh says, how important are dynamics you think for beginners? Should I focus on dynamics just now? Well, if you're just starting out, maybe not. I mean, try to get like the fortes and the pianos, which is the loud and the soft. Other than that, focus more on the notes and the rhythms for right now. But try to add in, yeah, don't ignore them. Yeah, so add in the dynamics as you can. So yeah, add them in. Let me put it this way. When you're learning a new piece, especially if you're a beginner, learn the notes first, then learn the proper rhythms, and then learn the dynamics. So kind of a triple layer thing going on. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end it just a little bit early today, mainly because I'm running out of steam here. Got up early and then actually went to the gym again today, which is 5 days in a row, so I am pretty tired. I usually only do the 4 days, but what are you going to do? All right, Danny says, thanks for the help. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Danny. All right, everybody. I think I am going to check out for today. Roberta says, cool. Thank you for the links, too. You're very welcome. I'll check out that YouTube video later. Thank you. Yeah, check that one out. I think that's pretty much what you're looking for. Julio says, sometimes when I play piano, my hands and fingers start to tense up. Rendering, probably wondering, right? Rendering my playing completely rusty. What am I doing wrong? Sometimes when I play the piano, my hands and fingers start to tense up. I wish Rich was here because he had the same problem. Just become cognizant of it. You know, you don't need to, you don't need to tense up while playing. So, like, do this. Do a practice exercise. If you haven't learned your scales already, learn your scales. Learn at least C major scale, right? And learn it 2 octaves. And just play up and down the keyboard. And be cognizant of how tense you're getting in your hands, right? So if you start to play up that second octave and you're like, man, my hands just hurt and the muscles are too tense, just think, relax. Actually, your hands, I think probably what the problem is that you've probably been playing for a while and been tensing up and then not really realizing that, like, okay, like I can hit this chord like this where my fingers are all fairly relaxed. I mean, you're using some muscles to get them in the right place. But you can also tense them up and hit them like a claw. You don't ever want to feel like your hand is a claw, right? So relax. Relax, And then work on playing your scale maybe. Something very simple where you can get the notes right away. And focus more on keeping your hands relaxed. And do that every day. And it should help improve what you're going through. Maria says, I'm really excited to hear that you're doing a music analysis course. Awesome. Glad to hear it. I knew that some people were definitely going to get a lot out of that course. The website for my courses, by the way, is pianolessonsontheweb.com. Let me link you here. There you go. All right, everybody, I think I'm going to adjourn for today. Thank you so much for coming. It's been your piano teacher, Tim, here. Have a great couple of days. I'll see you again on Sunday for that book review. I'll try to remember to change it on the schedule. But if you attended today, you know what's up. So thanks, everybody, for coming by. Have a great day. And I'll see you, yes, you, in the next lesson. Time for a nap. I would say coffee, but I've been drinking too much coffee. I need to cut back. But anyway, have a great day, guys.